pressure. That's what this project was about. I wanted to deconstruct the pressure that I face day in, day out, as a student, as a woman, as a member of society. And paradoxically, in doing that, I put more pressure on myself to complete this project to a standard that I was happy with in such a short space of time. I think that the modern day education system almost indoctrinates us into this capitalist lifestyle from such a horrifically young age. I think that it's scary that it's so normalised that I, as a 17-year-old, work from 8 a.m. till 9, 10, 11, sometimes 12 o'clock at night, and that no one questions that and no one finds that concerning, and that is the standard for me as a student studying for my A-levels. And I do it all in chase of grades that I'm hoping will give me some sort of sense of value as a human being. And I think that as students we all place so much of our own personal worth and value on these little letters on a piece of paper, which is what it is at the end of the day. And we think that they determine our whole lives. But equally, we all logically know that they don't, and we know that these grades are not the be-all and the end-all, but for some reason, the pressure that we're under makes it virtually impossible, not even virtually impossible, it makes it impossible for us to separate our self-worth from our grades. And it makes it impossible for us to give ourselves a break and to know that it is okay for us to be resting. And there's this pressure put onto us that we have to be productive 24 hours a day and have something to show for every millisecond of our lives. And if we're not doing something productive with our time, then we're told it's a waste. But people forget that we need to have the chance to rest too. And people say that as a student it is only a few years of your life, which is true, but we're at an age where we're setting the standard for the rest of our lives. And whether we're under pressure from teachers, parents, our friends, or really it's just the whole system, we're setting that standard that is how we will continue for the rest of our lives, and that we will continue and that we're willing to continue to put ourselves under that pressure to find some materialistic and capitalist idea of what our own self-worth is. And it makes me angry that there's the expectation that I've been made to believe that that's normal. That students and young people especially have been almost brainwashed since we were children to think that that is normal. And it upsets me that I rarely do what I need or what I want to do, what will make me happy, because there is the expectation that I have to spend every waking moment of my day working on college work, in my part-time job to earn money, because of this pressure from a system that has no knowledge of who I am, that has no knowledge of my life, that isn't even a sentient being, but we as humans continue to play into it. I feel a need to uphold these expectations, and this project was my way of looking into why. Why do I, as a woman, feel the need that I have to look a certain way, that I have to wear makeup or not wear makeup, and I call myself a feminist, and yet there are other women who say that I'm not because I choose to wear makeup, or because I choose to wear short dresses, or because my favourite colour is the colour pink. And I have this internalised need to conform with expectations, and so I'm facing pressure from within myself, and I think that as a woman you can never really win. That whatever you do, you will be criticised, and there is no escape from that. As a woman, and as a young woman, I am very rarely taken seriously, whether it be because of my age or because of my gender. And I am told that if I care too much about my appearance, then I don't have the brain capacity to care about the real world, to care about politics, to care about the environment, to be good at maths or English. All I care about is the shallow and vain concept of my appearance. Or if I don't take care of my appearance, if I don't wear makeup every day, then I'm told that I'm not a woman, that I'm unfeminine, and that I'm disgusting. And I know logically that it does not matter. It does not matter about what other people think of me, and it does not matter whether I wear makeup, whether I wear short dresses. What I choose to do with my appearance does not affect my own intelligence and my own self-worth. But living in a world where all these pressures that you face mean that you can never win, despite the logical understanding that it's not true, you still are faced with this constant, inescapable feeling that you are not good enough. I feel like I have this feeling like I'm constantly being watched, like I should never, like I can never be doing the right thing, like I'm being watched and I should act accordingly so. And so I think in society we find ourselves, but I know that I find myself asking myself, should I really watch another episode of that show? Should I really have that slice of cake? Should I really wear that dress that's short? I'll do my makeup in the mornings and I think, maybe I shouldn't wear pink eyeshadow today because, any people to take me seriously. And, I wonder why my body, this one right here that is sat here talking to you now, why does it get criticised? It's here to allow me to experience life in the most wonderful ways possible, and it is under so much pressure to fit into a certain size of clothes, to look a certain way, to be thin here and fat here and have muscle on a certain part of your body in ways that you can't possibly control. And I want to know when exercise became a way to look a certain way rather than to feel good and be healthy and live longer. And as a way, and it became this potentially vicious way to stay skinny. And I wonder, at what point did we, as modern society, decide that all these pressures were okay to put onto me and onto my friends, and onto my family members, and onto you, and onto your family members, and to your friends. And I wonder at what point we, as a society, stopped being a part of nature. At what point did we separate ourselves from it? In school you learn about man-made and natural things, and from a very young age you're taught to separate yourselves from plants and flowers and trees and the things that are appreciated just for existing and just for growing and surviving. And even though we, as humans, are another part of nature, we have a far more complicated set of rules and expectations that we have to follow to be appreciated. And that makes me sad and it makes me angry. And so, with my project, I started to wonder what happens when we're under pressure for so long, what happens when we're under this kind of pressure for such extended periods of our lives. I feel like if I'm 17, I've been under this pressure for, maybe 13, 14 years of my life, from school and from growing up, just from living in society. I've been under this pressure, and already at the age of 17 I can feel myself starting to break from the pressure. I can't handle it and I can't go on like this. And this project gave me a chance to explore that and to explore what happens when we get fed up of conforming to the expectations, and what happens when we stop giving in to the pressure, and what happens when we break, and how does this breaking make us happier and make us freer, and how we can benefit from giving in to breaking under pressure, and how we can benefit from removing ourselves from the expectations that people have of us, and also to make you realise how much pressure you're under, and to realise that you don't have to give into it. Thank you and good night.